Hi, everyone. My name is Lorna, and I am from It's Your Day, an event planning company in Troy, Michigan. And I wanted to just do a Periscope in the evening. I've never done an evening Periscope, and I just wanted to try it out. I know a lot of times people are not available. Hi, Zoyo. Yogurt. A lot of times people are not available during the daytime. So I was like, let me try an evening Periscope. Never done one before. So before I go into my topic, I just wanted to know where you guys are from. Hi, everyone. Where are you guys from? Michigan. Okay. Cool, cool. Anybody else here from Michigan? From Texas and Philly? Okay, cool, cool. From Troy, yes. Cool, cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip the camera over, but I was just giving a moment for people to come on. But what I'm going to discuss is what do you do once you're engaged? So I'm engaged. What's next? A lot of people get engaged and you're like, okay, what's next? I'm engaged. What do I do next? And I just want to discuss and go over some of those tips with you. So I'm going to flip over and then, hi everyone. I flipped the camera over and I always write notes so I can stay on task. That's just the planner in me, just trying to make sure I stay on task and everything. So once you said, do you have a date and a time frame? So basically, I think you're referring to what do you do next once you're engaged. So basically, once you're engaged, the first thing you want to do is celebrate it with your family and friends. You want to make sure you celebrate it with your close family and friends first before you celebrate it with FaceTime. I mean, not FaceTime. Well, before you celebrate it with Facebook, so you want to make sure those special family and friends are aware of what is going on because it's nothing more sad for them to find out that you're engaged by Facebook. So you want to call them and just let them feel a little special. Okay, I'm engaged. You never did that and really wish. I know a lot of people, a lot of my brides, they've done that prior to me coming, and I'm like, yeah, you want to definitely announce that to your family and friends first to make them feel special because social media, the word gets out so fast. Even if you delete it, someone has probably seen it. So you want to definitely, hi you guys, what I'm discussing is what do you do now? You're like, okay, I'm engaged. What do I do next? So I'm just going to give you a couple tips. The first one I just went over is you want to make sure that you announce to your family and friends before you put it on social media that you're engaged because I know you're did I just get engaged? No. My name is Lorna, and I am an event planner in Troy, Michigan, and I like to give you guys tips on weddings and events. So I just want to give you some free advice, and this is some of the things that I usually tell my brides once they hire me for consultations, but I'm just giving some free tips away because I love Periscope. Congrats, by the way. Okay, I may have missed that conversation. But if you're engaged or if you know someone that's engaged, before I finish, what you do is click on the little man. I think you slide up with the Android or slide to the right with the iPhone and then invite someone to see this. If you know, I know you guys know someone that's getting married, so you want to share this information with them. The second thing that you want to do is set a date because once you are engaged, you want to make sure you find out what's a good date, a good time of the year. Here in Michigan, the biggest time of the year is from May to September for weddings. So it just depends on what state you're in, on the weather, or if it's a rainy season, or if it's going to be cold outside. So you definitely want to set a date and find out what date works best for the two of you guys. Then once you set a date, and this is the tricky one, you want to set your budget. You want to set your budget. It's very important. So a lot of people tell me, I don't know how to set a budget. What do I do when I set a budget? I let people know this is the tip to setting your budget. What you can afford, you want to have a realistic budget. So if you are planning the wedding yourself between you and your fiance. How necessary is it to send save the dates invitations? You can actually do one. A lot of people feel the need to do save the dates. Save the dates are personally for people. If you're dealing with a lot of out of town family and friends, you want to send them a save the date, because usually you send your invitations out and they won't have an opportunity to take that day off for the wedding, get the flight arrangements, hotel accommodations. You want to make sure they have enough time. So a lot of people do the save the dates just because it's fun, and they can have a photo included with the save the date, and they go more traditional with the actual invitation. So it's not mandatory to do a save the date, but you do want to let those out of town guests know so they can plan to come to share that special moment with you. I hope that answered your question. I'm just going to start over again. I saw some more people join. I'm Lorna from It's Your Day in Troy, Michigan, and I'm just sharing some cool wedding tips on what do you do once you get engaged. A lot of people are engaged and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm engaged and I just want to make this announcement. What do I do? So we discussed to make sure that you announce it with your family and friends first. Oh, no problem. You're so welcome. You discussed to make sure you announce it with your family and friends first before you do it. Announce it on social media so they can feel special. You want to definitely make sure you set a date. And then the third thing is to set a budget. So this is the details on the budget. If you are planning a wedding, just the two of you guys, you want to figure out what's a realistic amount that you can put aside every paycheck. So if you say, okay, we get paid every 2 weeks, you want to set whatever amount you can afford so you can still pay your bills and still live. You may have to sacrifice. You may not be able to get some things done while you're planning the wedding, but you make that decision. And if you can put aside, say, $500 per check and you get paid every week, then that between that time frame and the date, well, not the date, I would say 2 weeks before your wedding, that is your realistic budget between the two of you guys. If family and friends are going to assist, then you can find out what their budget would be and how much they will be able to help. I've also, and I hate to say this, but I have had some family and friends depend on some people to come through and pay some monies to help with the budget. But when they get closer to the wedding, they're really bummed because that family or friend did not show up and did not, keep the commitments that they promised that they would. So if you feel a little uneasy, and usually you have some type of feeling prior to them saying, okay, we're going to help you, then what you do is don't depend or count on their funds. If they do give you some money, then just count it as extra. It's just extra money, and you can always find a place to put that extra money to pay off anything. So that is what I always suggest to my brides, and they're like, okay, so what do we do if Uncle Joe says he's going to give us $5,000 to go towards our wedding, but he's wishy-washy, or he was half asleep when he told us that, so that's what I always tell my brides. Once again, I'm Lorna from It's Your Day, an event planning company, and I wanted to share some tips on what to do once you're engaged. I like to see the little colored hearts. If you guys can give me some hearts, I would love to see some colored hearts fluttering as I talk. And if you know someone that's engaged, I would love for you to share this with an engaged person or couple, or tweet it and let people know that you like it. So can I see some hearts before I go any further? I'm a little sad because I want some hearts. Let me see some color hearts. I like chocolate hearts. I like teal hearts. I like orange hearts. I like red hearts. Thank you for the red hearts. I like the orange hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to discuss the type of wedding that you want. It's very important to decide if if you're Christian, if you're going to get married in the church or not, or where you're going to get married, what side of town. Those things are definitely important, along with having your date and making sure you announce it to the appropriate people and setting your budget. You definitely want to decide on the type of wedding. If you want to have it inside of a hotel, if you want everything in one location, those are very important questions that you guys want to discuss together. And I strongly suggest that you discuss them, the two of you, before you add anyone else in on the conversation, because it's your day. It's your day, and you want to make sure that you have what you want at your wedding. So I think that's utterly important. But the next thing is more important than anything. This next step is so important. Um, Hi. What you want to do is hire a planner. Um, and the reason that you want to hire a planner, of course, you guys are like, well, of course she's going to say hire a planner because we're planners. But as a planner, we can save you so much money. We can save you a lot of time because mostly if you're planning a wedding, you are at work, sneaking on the computer, taking time away from your job. But this is our full-time job. This is what we do, at least for me. Yes, and it's a headache. So a lot of times we know the ins and outs. We know the vendors. We can help you with your budget. If you have a budget that's unrealistic, you say, how much do planners cost? Well, it definitely depends on where you're at. In Michigan, if you're hiring a full-time planner, you're going to pay typically at least 2,000 and up for a full-time planner. Our full-time package, just to give you an idea, is 2,500. Our full-time not package, our full planning package is 2,500, and that's very reasonable compared to some the other planners. But it definitely depends on what you get. You definitely want to read their contract and see, with us, you get 8 meetings. I know some planners, they charge 5,000, but you have unlimited meetings. So, it's a give or take. You have to find out what's the best fit for you. So don't just necessarily look at the price. Make sure you meet with the planner and also find out if you're a good fit, because you're going to be with that person for months. They're going to be your semi-assistant. They're going to be your semi-BFF slightly. We build some great relationships with our brides. So you definitely, because I interview my brides when they're interviewing me. I find out if they're a good fit for me as well as they find out if I'm a good fit for them. So we both were kind of interviewing each other to see if we're a good fit. I hope that answered your question. But we help you save a lot of money. Also, another thing is vendors are willing to make more of a deal with us and work out better deals with us because they know as a planner, we can potentially bring them more business. And for me as a planner, if I find a good vendor, I'm going to refer and recommend them and try to use them as much as possible, because if they as a vendor make my life easy, I like them. So that's another reason we can help save time, help you save some money, and we also can help you stick to your budget. So if you give me a realistic budget, what we do is actually go into details with creating your budget and going over details. Okay, do you plan to have this? Do you plan to have that? If you don't, we increase your budget in certain areas, because I find out from my brides what are the 3 most important things that you want in your wedding. So you may say, okay, Mom, the most important thing I want to have is a venue. I want the venue of my dreams, and that's just really important. And then my decor, so whatever the 3 most important things are that you want, I want to make sure you try to allocate most of those funds to that budget. So if you say, I don't need transportation, great. We can take transportation out of your budget. So we can so originally what I allocated for your transportation, we can move that up and add that and increase that to your decoration budget or your venue budget. So that is definitely important. So we really go hands-on and find out all the details of what you plan to have for your wedding. We also act as your go-to person and your liaison. So for a full planning package, my brides typically, prior to meeting the vendors, never talk to the vendors. I do all the talking for my brides, and I meet with them. If it's a vendor I don't know, I interview those vendors. I find out all the ins and outs. I ask to see their contract. Hi, everyone. I know some other people joined. I just want to say my name is Lorna. I am a wedding planner from Troy, Michigan, and I'm just going over what do you do once you're engaged. I'm engaged. What's next? So I'm going to finish this, and then I'll just kind of wrap it up and do a brief overview. I have some more tips I'll be sharing with you on the next Periscope. These are just, I think, about 5 tips that I'm sharing right now. Classy Detailed Events. Hi, I like that name. You said I'm 17. You better leave. Yeah, my daughter's 15. And if she is planning to get married, I'm like, No, not yet. But if you know someone that is getting married, you can definitely share this information with someone. You may know someone, your aunt, uncle, your parents may be doing a vow renewal. You never know. So another thing, we also help with keeping you on a tight budget. We help you with that. So when you meet with your vendor to ask any questions, we have asked most of the questions that you're going to, but you also want to meet with them and find out if they're a good fit for you. And then we also we give valuable advice. We also give you wedding etiquette. However, it's your day. Some people don't want to do the typical things, the traditional things. Whatever you want, if you say, hey, I want to do this or I want to do that, we are there to help and come up with some creative, fun ideas for you guys for your wedding. So I'm going to just recap. The first thing you do once you get engaged, you want to make sure you announce it to your family and friends before you put it on social media. The second thing you want to do is make sure you set your date. Find out what time of the year that you want, the time of the day that you actually want to have your ceremony and your reception. If you want to have everything in one location or not, you want to set your budget. And then find out how much you can afford to have so you can have a realistic budget. Then you want to decide on the type of wedding that you want to have, the location, if you want to have it at one location or a hotel, a golf course, at a church, wherever you want to have it. And then you hire your planner. So then once you hire your planner, that's when we go in, we give you a checklist, and we make sure you have things done in a timely manner. Because when you come in, you don't want to hire a DJ first without finding your venue. So those are important. We keep you on task because as you're getting married, you're just excited. You just want to tell the world. You just want to hire whoever you like. So we kind of will you back in, like, okay, we need to do this first. Once we do this, then we can move on to that. So I hope these tips were helpful for you guys. Do you guys have any questions? I'm open to questions if you have some. Once again, my name is Lorna. I'm with It's Your Day, an event planning company in Troy, Michigan. And I just wanted to discuss some of the things that you do once you're engaged. If you have any other questions, we try to do Wedding Wednesday. If you have any other questions, I will be answering questions about weddings on Wednesday. That's what I try to do. Feel free to go on Facebook.com/It's Your Day LLC. Follow us on Periscope. We would love for you to follow us now. Invite someone to look at this post later. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. All of our links are It's Your Day LLC. Well, any other questions or anything? Thank you so much for your time. I hope these tips were helpful to you or someone that you know so you can share them. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.